We're live. Good. So, hey everyone, it's Drew Murray from D20 Advice again. Live streaming again, because editing these is bleh. So, we are still doing the My 30 Day World project from the Tabletop Terrors guys. On to the next question, which my phone tells me is: how common are adventurers and heroes in your world? Common enough. Adventurers and heroes are not treated like they are in some other settings, things like Eberron or Forgotten Realms, where it's expected that adventurers are going to travel around, that they have industries and a world set up to cater for the adventuring type. What they do have is an industry set up around life, like general medieval living. People have to work a trade or a service, preferably a trade that produces a physical thing. Services are also a thing, however. And yeah, that they have to produce something. They have to put something into the world to earn money. Adventures in the world of Taihun are generally those that exist especially for the game. They exist to move the world forward. So what do I mean by that? I mean the player characters are the agents that enact great change in the world, that only major players actually make changes in the world. The rest of the world stays pretty static. Minor changes can happen. And by minor changes, I mean on a cosmological scale, minor changes. Probably a little more zoomed in than that. But like kingdoms can rise and fall, that's fine. But from a character's point of view, playing through the game, yes, a king might try and invade the kingdom. Um, Someone might find a magical artifact and try and overthrow nearby things, but it's going to be fairly localized, fairly contained. The ones that are really seeking to make changes are the villains and the player characters. The player characters will be looking to correct any injustices that they see going on in the world, and the villains are trying to take over the world or destroy the world or do whatever it is that they want to do. So you've got the major forces that can make changes, like the dragons as a political force will try to make changes in the world. The mind flayers are trying to make changes. The Taihun less so. You've got the Feyweave looking to enact big changes, but it's not really wanting to do that. It just is doing that. You've got the Druids and their agendas, but for the most part, player characters are the ones that are going to be liaising between the courts. They're going to be the ones dungeon diving to find these arcane and mystical artifacts. These are the ones that are going to be encouraging the change to happen. They're going to be making it happen. So yes, story things happen in the background, a change in the guard, so to speak, so that the world is fluid and dynamic. But major upheaval, any deviance from projected paths, that's all player characters. You're not going to have a regent suddenly decide that they want to go and invade a neighboring kingdom for no good reason. There's always good reason. Everything is rationalized and thought out beforehand. So that the player characters, if they want to do some investigation, if they want to do some historical reading, they can do that and work out what the problem is and how they can find different solutions to the problem. Great use of skills in a Taihun campaign. The history skill, especially. History and religion are far and away some of the most used skills outside of perception in a Taihun game. You need to know what's going on in the world, and you shouldn't be front loaded with all that information. It comes out during gameplay. But there's also the investigation skill. You need to go and track down these books, these tomes, these ledgers to lead you to the information that you need. Anyway, that's getting away from the point. Heroes are something a little different. I'm going to sneeze. Bless me. Excuse me. Heroes are something different. There's heroes of legend, heroes in history. They exist, but they exist in the same way that general myths and legends exist in our world. There's no knowledge of whether or not they really existed. A lot of them are stories from civilizations that have since fallen. Very few are verifiable. And so you will get stories of someone who made their way to the realm of the undead and back again to save their long lost love. And the name will be a dozen different names, depending on which bard is telling the story. Heroes are a big part of many of the cultures in the world of the Taihun, but they are no more active than player character adventurers. You won't get many non-player character adventurers. You won't get many people going out into the wilderness and doing things. You will have people that train in the skills that the player characters are training in. You will have wizards in the lowercase w sense of the word. You have people that are casting spells, but they're not player character class wizards necessarily. They're not going out adventuring and finding new spells. They are just in a king's court studying things. You'll have some empress somewhere with her own retinue of clergy behind her back that she can just go, right, off with their heads. I don't like them. Make up some religious rule for it, you know. But they're not necessarily all like 20th level clerics or something. These are people that wield power, political and magical. They do not go out into the world and dungeon dive like the rest of the player characters. They don't do what everyone else does. So that's heroes, that's adventurers. That's pretty much it, I suppose, for that question. So how common are adventurers and heroes in your world? I ran this campaign as part of a play-by post with more than 20 player characters at once. That was fine. That managed to keep going for a good 6 months or so. Yeah, lots of adventurers and heroes in the world. They just all happen to be player characters. Yeah. So you're not going to walk into a town and have people go, "Oh, hail adventurer!" You must be one of those many people that just wander from town to town, slaying goblins and whatnot. But they're not necessarily frowned upon either. I'll end it there. It's not really clarified things, I feel, but they're not all over the place. They don't run the economy, but they're there and they do things. So you can have as many heroes as you like. Anyway, see you later. Bye.